Hey friends, I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti, and as always, I forgot to turn something on. Welcome to Friday Night Frame Testing. We are going to compare the newbie drone Cockroach 65 V3 to the BetaFPV Meteor65 Air. These are the two lightweight frames that at the moment are the most durable. I'm super excited to see the production version of the We Bleed crown frame, but it's still a prototype right now. So yeah, it's only fair to give them some time to dial in the plastic that they're injection molding, which is something that Newbie Drone's been doing for the last like 6 months. They actually sent me prototypes of their new frame a while ago, and they said, hey, please don't show these on this stream. Initially they sent me, I'm going to show you. Initially they sent it to me in 3 different materials. So here's V1, I wrote it down on there, V1 and V1, here it is. So you can probably see, yep, you can totally see that these are very obviously 3 different plastics, right? And so, yeah, a bunch of us tested these 3 different materials, provided feedback, and then they dialed it in. And Weebleed is in that same kind of period. Weebleed did ship the crown frame to me in 2 different plastics, but this plastic, Zotac was like, don't even bother. It's just gonna break. It's way too brittle. This plastic here. So I didn't even bother building with these. The other material that that's not this. The other material that Weebleed sent on the crown frame was pretty good, but it did break pretty quickly. So, so yeah, there's some different plastics being tested in their mold. So hopefully tonight we can figure out which of the we can figure out if the Cockroach or the Meteor65 Air are the better of the current 2 lightweight frames. And then once the newbie drone plastic is dialed in, we'll test that against whoever the victor of tonight is. And then, yeah, we'll have the best frame. It's not really the best, though. You know, the first thing that I want to talk about tonight is the weight difference between the Meteor65 Air and the Cockroach 65 V3. And in order to talk about the weight difference, that's for Mighty Car Mods. Go subscribe to their channel. It's the least you can do. It'll make your life way better. One of the best channels on the internet. One of you beautiful bastards sent a scale to me. Enjoy your gift from a grateful supporter. I will indeed. Thank you very much. Very, very cool. Ow, fucker. I just installed a ceiling fan on the patio, and I'm going to burn this house down. Who the hell decided on the way that ceiling fans would mount? And how small are that person's hands and fingers? And where do they live? Because I'm going to light their house on fire and cut off their arms and legs so that they just have to lay in the flaming house as a little stumpy. What an awful design. What an absolute nightmare. Just absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe how frustrating that process was. This is interesting. They put the buttons are engraved with not engraved, but molded with what they do. But then they give you a fancy little front piece. Let's put it on. What the hell? Let's put the fancy little front piece on. What do you say? Man, I'm all cut up and banged up, and we want our scale to look as fancy as possible. This is a much bigger scale than mine, which is going to make it way easier to put like the CiottiFPV on here or the 5-inch rigs on here. So that'll be cool. I am a fan of that. All right, so let's get this put on here wrong so that it's forever crooked. Let me work on that. Actually, the way that it wraps around the plastic, there's almost no way to put it on wrong. That's pretty cool. Not wrong, but crooked. Oh man, it looks terrible on there. I like it without it. Hold on, let's peel the little protective plastic bit. Oh, that's a little bit better. I like it without it though, to be honest. That's why they give it to you as a separate sticker piece, because they're like, this kind of looks like ass. We'll let you put it on and decide that it looks like ass, and then you'll think it's your own doing. They give you batteries. They gave me batteries with this. You should never use these batteries. You should always use a proper battery. Whenever something comes with batteries, they're cheap shit batteries. And someday they will leak, and that potentially could ruin the thing that they're in. So never use the batteries that come with something, in my opinion. That's something my dad taught me forever ago. All right, yo, we got a scale. It says hello. So first thing that I want to do is weigh UNST? What the hell does that mean? First thing I want to do is what? Why are there two? Why are there two? Remove the tray, it says. Remove the tray. Can't see it. Is one to go over the whole thing, and one of them just goes over the little pad on it, maybe? Let's see. Yep, this one goes over the pad. Well, that's a cool setup. This one goes over the pad, and then this one goes over the whole thing, so it's double protected. That's pretty neat. And the big one that goes over the whole thing, you can always use that to sit on top of the pad. I actually prefer doing that because it weights the pad down a little bit. These little scales, the not super expensive scales, when they're completely unloaded, the little load cell or whatever the hell it is, load sensor cell, I think it's a load cell, it's gonna be like all the way in its highest position. If you put something on it to weigh it down a little bit and then tear it out, you're pushing the load cell down a little bit, and it tends to be a little bit more accurate when you do that. So I'm going to do that right now. And Meteor65 Air frame on this scale is coming in at 2.66 grams. And then, I got screws in this. Oh, I don't want to take the screws out. Oh, and they're those short screws. Well, that's kind of interesting. So here's the here's the Newbie drone Cockroach 65 V3. There's the dog splooting under the desk. With the short screws, which are the screws that you would use with this, without the carbon fiber brace, this guy is 3.3 grams. So 3.3 grams with the screws that you're going to use for it, versus the Meteor65 Air with the longer screws, which are going to be a little bit heavier, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that, yo! 3.18 grams. So, let's round that up to 3.2. And there's only 0.1 of a gram difference between these two frames. That's pretty cool because of the length of the screws and because of the thickness of the motor mounting pads on either one of these. You really can't run. You can't run the Meteor65 airframe with these short screws. They won't go through the motor pad. So yeah, the screws that I just weighed these things with are the screws that you have to run them with. So this is not like an unfair advantage. This is, Newbie Drone designing something that can work with a carbon fiber brace or doesn't necessarily have to. And it's pretty neat. I didn't think of that. Look at this dog on the floor. What the hell are you doing? Dude, whoever sent this, thank you for the scale. Very, very cool. We are back in business. We were only scaleless for a day. Oh, it doesn't fit where I used to put the scale. What if I push this forward? What if I push the multimeter forward? Take this flashlight at it. There we go. And now I just gotta find another spot for this flashlight. That's fine. I'm a dog. I'm a bad dog. I eat rugs. My name is Tedward. My name is Theodore Barksdale. Oh, God, I'm going to shake you until your head falls off. Come on. Look at him. Look at this bad boy. This is why I'm stressed. Stop eating. Stop eating my hands. Stop it. Stop. Stop chewing every single thing in the world. Oh. Look this way. Look this way. You goober. I don't really have anything to say. I don't really need to say anything. I just hold the dog up and people go, ah! Denzel the Terrible says, if you don't hit the like button, you're obviously a heartless dog hater. Well, I'm not hitting the like button then. Hey! I don't hate dogs. I just hate this dog. I mean, I hate them all. Cats are better. No. Dogs are okay. They're okay. They're just okay, though. They're not good. They're not... Why did this thing come with a USB cable? It's got a USB port on it. Wonder if you can update the firmware. It's probably for power. You can probably power it off USB. I'm going to throw this... no, I'm going to check if this is a data cable. It won't be, and then I'll throw it away. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight. We already did mailbag, so that's good to go. In the chat, Matt Trombley was first. Douglas Otwell was next. Free Lojo. Curtis Hayes. Weirdo with a skateboard. I haven't seen you in a hot effing minute. Daniel 1964. Tongue out FPV. McMucus. Denzel the Terrible. Free Lojo. Northern Tier. We Bleed FPV. Zotac is here. Flush FPV. Captain Insano. Weirdo with a skateboard again. Adam Weston. Northern Tier. Tuner Taxi's in the house. Been a while for you too, brother. I saw you jump back on the Patreon. Thank you, homie. Freeloader Dendilla, Frank Nicholas, June Loco, Scott FPV, Danzilla, Freelojo, Gert Jan. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming. If you want to talk directly to me, all you gotta do in the chat is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange, just like you see over here. That's how it works. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can support me. I'm completely crowdfunded by you beautiful people. Thank you for all that you do. This live stream would not exist if it weren't for each and every one of you. If you're not a patron, I promise you're going to love my nuts. I promise. I just promise. Speaking of Patreon... Daniel JH, thank you for joining the Patreon. Welcome to the Gangly Gang. Safe Zone FPV, thanks for the patron subscription. Off Axis, change in tiers, I assume. Travis Sawyer, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for the support, my friend. FPV Wannabe, thank you so much. Look at that email address. That's a funny email address. I can't read it, though. And no, don't mark as red. There we go. Okay. All right. I think I'm caught up. Am I caught up? Might be caught up. There's Sleepy CBR. Oh shit! That just made all of these red. That's not at all what I wanted to do. Oh boy, Cards Against Humanity made a new game. It's called Head Trip. Interesting. I'm sure it's gross and hysterical. Oh, I missed it. Always allow pop-up shirt. Okay. Good to go. I just need to go like that. Okay, now we're all set. Yeah, we're good. Let's start cranking on things and doing live stream stuff. So I'm going to pull apart the Ghostly Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop on the 0702 32,000 kV TinyWhoop motors. Oh, hey, look at that. This guy has peak screws in it. I'm going to have to remove the peak screws, and I'm not going to be able to use them. You know, with this guy, with these using the short metal screws, the peak screws are actually a lot less effective. So that's kind of cool. At some point, I'll put the peak screws into this Meteor65 Air framed Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop, but not tonight. For tonight, I'm just going to leave the peak screws out because there's no reason to pull this apart. At some point, I'll have to pull this apart. So down below the camera here, I'm just going to be unscrewing screws from this to get this swapped from one frame to the other. So I'm not fiddling with my wee-wee, I promise. I'm fiddling with the TinyWhoop. TinyWhoop Fiddlesticks coming at you. That's how we do it here on Captain Donkey's Great Ride. Type at CiottiFPV if you want to ask me some questions. God damn it, I just pulled that wire really hard. When am I going to fucking learn? Yeah, fill that chat up with some questions. This is a Q&A live stream. Let's talk about them. We talked about the Walksnail Goggles X yesterday. A couple more reviews have come out. I've watched a few of them. Not yesterday, day before, I guess. It really is like what I said about them sort of seeming to be the one goggle to end them all. I really, a couple of people have echoed that. And yeah, it's really cool. And I did watch the rest of Mads Tech's video. Got to see where that receiver module is up on top. 5 UFLs on it for 5 antennas. Crazy. 4 antennas in the front and then a patch antenna on top, which is kind of interesting because like a lot of pilots when they're flying will kind of do one of these. And when you do this, that patch antenna is going to work really well. So kind of funny that they did that. Really cool that there's 5 UFLs, though, for 5 antennas. That's going to give a lot of options for replacing the little faceplates with patch antennas, or God only knows what else. I mean, having all those UFLs for antennas opens up a bunch of different possibilities. So yeah, really cool stuff. Really cool, like forward-thinking design on these goggles. I did see that Johnny 5 was bashing them, saying that you know, nobody's gonna get them. I completely disagree. I think these are going to be very popular goggles. I think it's a huge step in the right direction. Big thumbs up to Walksnail for doing anything that's future-proof. I was a little annoyed by that, to be honest, because like it's so rare that we get anything like that. Like the one time that we get something that's been designed to be, not the one time, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like we should be, you know, celebrating these goggles and giving Walksnail a hell of a pat on the back for, you know, not having something that it's like a year from now, hey, there's a version 2.0, sell yours and buy all fresh ones, right? Like that's the way that it typically goes. And that shit's annoying, you know, because like 50-degree field of view with OLED screens, that's probably going to be good for, you know, that tech right there. It's probably good for the next, I don't know, 5 years maybe. I would love it if my Fat Shark HD3s, I could just sort of easily take a cover off and update things in them. I guess I can because it's got the module bay. But yeah, we lost the module bay a long time ago, and this is like their version of the module bay, but even better because it's like the firmware, I believe, on the goggles. I don't know. I'm really impressed by them. Everybody that I've seen so far has been impressed with them, other than that one person. So I was very confused by that, but I don't know. Whatever. He's a racer. So maybe there's something I don't have any knowledge of racing. So maybe for racers they really don't matter. That's the only thing I can kind of think of. So there's that. But yeah, super exciting set of goggles. I think they're a massive step in the right direction, and with how good I mean, it's really good timing, right? Like Walksnail is realistically the system that we all want to go with, because it's so versatile, right? You can have a 6 gram VTX and camera combo, or you can have something that outputs 700 milliwatts and yeah, just blasts. They've got like 4 or 5 different camera options, a bunch of different VTX options. Like Walksnail is the closest thing to analog that we've had in a long time. And it's got power and it's got image quality, and they're working on like some race modes for lower latency. So yeah, like they should really, in my opinion, be like getting pats on the back and be getting celebrated for actually listening to us, right? Like HD0 also has listened to the community, but their image quality is just shit, in my opinion, compared to any of the other guys that are doing HD systems, digital systems, rather. I don't even think I wouldn't even consider the HD0 system to be HD. It certainly doesn't look HD. I mean, it looks a tiny little bit better than analog, but it doesn't. I don't know. Is it considered HD? I guess maybe it is. Isn't it only 720 though? Although I kind of consider 720 to be HD. Here we go again with the goddamn AIO and grommets popping off. Come on now. Don't be like that. Going to one of Maggie's family members' wedding tomorrow. Gonna bring the Mavic just for the sake of bringing it. I'm trying to just like bring the Mavic with me to places with charged batteries, and then just put it up in the air. It's just nice to it's nice to know. It's nice to be familiar with that platform. It can do some really cool stuff. The fact that it has a gimbal opens up some really fun camera movements, and yeah, I want to get better with it. It's actually hard. I mean, it's hard to get. It's weird to say this, but it's hard to get good footage with the Mavic. Like you can't just slam the sticks and do a whole bunch of flips and rolls and make people vomit. You have to like actually point it. It's photography. Like you have to have the settings correct. You have to point it at something interesting. You don't just have a shitload of roll rate to make the footage watchable or action packed. So it's a really fun, for me at least, it's a really fun challenge to make the footage coming out of it interesting. It's funny, like everybody says how boring Mavics are, and it's like, well, is it boring, or are you just not good at it, right? Like, and you're just not good at it is the answer, because people that say that are not people that have put 100 hours into flying it. They're people that flew it for an hour, and they watched the footage back and it was boring footage. Like, sorry, that's on you. Like, you pointed at something interesting and you move it through the air in an interesting way, and the footage is going to be rad, as evidenced by the fact that tons of people are posting beautiful Mavic footage, or just photography drone footage in general, right, on Instagram all day, every day. So yeah, it's a really cool challenge, and I'll bet you that it makes me a better FPV pilot, because it really makes you focus on the photography side of it, and the I'm tempted to say like the cinematic side of it, but that's no. You're focusing on the photography side of it, and like, I got news for y'all. We're putting cameras up in the air. So learning photography is a really good idea, because it will teach you how to use that camera more effectively, and how to make the 30 images a second that you're going to capture with that camera look better. So yeah, anything that's going to force you to focus more on photography is going to make you a better pilot in terms of making your footage more watchable. And yeah, I like that. So go out and buy yourself a Mavic. They're only $1 million. No, borrow a Mavic off of another FPV pilot that hasn't flown his. Look for a used one. You don't need a brand new one. Get one that's got a bunch of miles on it. You're probably not going to fly it much anyway. And quite honestly, the images coming out of the older ones are gorgeous. Like, they've had really nice sensors and lenses on them for a while now, so you don't have to have the absolute brand new one. Get like get a cheap one, and yeah, put it up in the air. One of the other cool things is, like, you can set the damn thing to hover and just look straight down, and then like fly FPV up to it and around it and shit. Like, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with them that we just kind of don't, because flying FPV is just so much more fun. From like an action-packed kind of standpoint, whereas the photography drones are more fun from like a photography standpoint. I also realize that most FPV pilots are not also photographers, but that's kind of why I think it's such a good practice to put it up in the air, because it's gonna sort of force you to become a little bit more of a photographer, and that is a good thing. So do it, yo. Check it out. If you... The dog just like grunted in a way that I've never heard him grunt before. Yeah, get one and throw it up in the air. You'll dig it. I know some of you already have them. Knock the dust off of them and put them in the air. Especially if you haven't for a while. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. Danzo the Terrible says, suppity sup, CiottiFPV et al. Adam Weston says, ceiling fans are the worst. It's all hanging over your head. Weirder with a Skateboard says, how's it going, lad? It's been a minute. It's good, brother. Real good. How are you? Hope all is well in your world. Yeah, just doing... I don't know how long it's been, but if it's been long enough, I am living with Maggie now. You were probably around when I met Maggie, but I was still living in the apartment. She bought a house, and I moved in, and it's been insane. Hanging ceiling fans and all kinds of stuff. So it's a drastic, massive change in my life. Living in a house, living with 2 kids. We lost our old dog Duke, unfortunately, but now we've got a new one that is an insane puppy and makes me want to jump off the roof sometimes. But yeah, it's been a crazy... it's been about a year and a quarter, I guess. And it's been chaos, but good chaos. So, yeah. Hell of an adjustment. But apparently I'm doing okay. Still do therapy every month. I will probably do that forever. And yeah, I love living with these 3 crazy people and 1 absurd K9. I'm a very lucky dude. All right, yo, almost got this frame swap done, and we can just start pounding on these things. So the Ultimate Freestyle TinyWhoop here that was in the BetaFPV Meteor65 Air frame, I had pulled the PIDs down, and I think the PIDs were about at their limit. So I'll be super interested to see if I can push the PIDs up in this Cockroach 65 V3 frame. I have a feeling that I'll be able to, and that's pretty cool. Like, one of the only things that I don't love about the Meteor65 Air frame is how much extra filtering you have to add and how much PID gain you have to pull out. That's what she said. And so, yeah, if this Cockroach V3 frame at 0.1 of a gram extra, with the shorter screws. Does not require me to pull the PIDs down as much. That's a big fat win for me. And then at that point, the only other thing that I'm gonna obsess over is durability. And it's looking pretty damn good for the Cockroach 65 V3. And it's not looking all that good for the Meteor 65 Air. I've heard from a bunch of people that have broken the Meteor 65 Air frames already pretty quickly. And mine are developing a pretty severe crease in one specific spot. So, I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting to see. We probably won't have durability feedback tonight. But I'm just going to keep flying these things and keep smacking them into stuff. And hopefully I can break one of them. But the Cockroach V3 frame apparently is damn near unbreakable from some of the testing that was done by Newbie Drones. So that's really, really, really exciting. It's made of a really flexible plastic. So I think it's a situation where it's just going to bend and not break, which is kind of the same situation that the Meteor 65 airframe is. I didn't think that we were going to have broken airframes. I thought it was going to be as indestructible as the regular old Meteor 65. Just from, like, you know, kind of holding it and twisting it and looking at it and stuff like that. But, yeah, I've already seen 3 specific people that have broken them. And I don't know about the crease on mine. The crease is looking like it might become a weak spot and break there. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Let's fry them. Actually, no. Let's get caught up on the chat first. I can't believe what a nightmare hanging that ceiling fan was. Jesus fucking hell. Tuner Taxi says, long time no see. How you doing? I'm good. I'm doing good, brother. Hopefully you are as well. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up, trying to find my place. There it is. Mudderson says, what's up, gang? Installing Rotor Hazard 4.0. Hopefully gonna go whoop in the parking lot later. What the hell's Rotor Hazard 4.0? Sounds interesting. Rotor Hazard 4.0. What is that? GitHub? Oh, timing. Ah. Rotor Hazard FPV race timer. Oh, very cool. You install it on the quad. Do you install it on the quad? No. You install it on the timer. Okay. You install it on the timer. I was gonna say, what's the Whoop gonna do? Athix says, I'm getting a gearbox rebuild experience on AK. Airsoft? An Airsoft AK, like a V3 gearbox? Is that what you're getting, Athix? Weirdo the Skateboard says, got heaps of questions because I've been ignoring FPV first. How's it going? Second, did DJI wipe out Fat Shark, Tyrannus, etc.? Third, what's Walksnail? Nope, everybody's still around. DJI is still around. Fat Shark is still around. Walksnail is the company that, like, owns Caddx, I think is how it works. So yeah, Walksnail is basically Caddx. They took the they were working with DJI apparently all along on the Vistas. And so when DJI dropped the Vista to go to their brand new system, which is called O3, Walksnail picked it up and ran with the Vista. And so now Walksnail, Caddx, have their own. So you've got, like, in order, analog. This is in order of image clarity. How about that? Analog, HD0, which is now like this interesting mix of, it's for racers. Walksnail, I'm sorry, analog, HD0, old school DJI Vista, Walksnail, O3 DJI. That's basically how it works now. As the image quality goes up, well, no, this way. As the image quality goes up this way, the latency goes up. Go fucking figure. So yeah, it's there are pluses and minuses to all of them. There is not a one-size-fits-all solution. I think Walksnail is the closest to having something that works across the board, mainly because they have the lightest VTX and camera combo, which you can actually put on a fucking 65 millimeter TinyWhoop. Check out the most recent edit that I put up on the channel. That is with a 25 gram TinyWhoop in 1080, 60 frames a second. So yeah, Walksnail is magic, and they have like bigger stuff. The range is great, the output power is great, and they've got like a few different VTXs, a few different cameras, so you've got choice. It's not like DJI where it's like, here's one product, if you don't like it, fuck off. Yeah, it's Walksnail is the way, in my opinion. King FPV says hello there, everyone. Weird with Skateboard says, new question, is Walksnail digital or analog? Everything is now analog. Analog is the only thing that's analog. Everything else is now digital. Motodurtson says, I have a Mavic Air 2. I've flown like 5 times. Who wants to buy it? LOL, there you go. Motodurtson going to sell you one. Brennan's Baked Bean says, you can find a Mini 2 for very cheap. Very cool. Chick with a Stick says, your hair makes me eggplant. Quad City Bay Area with a $2 super chat. He says, King Whoop Ciotti, happy Friday. Oh, God, that toy is soaked. Oh, God, it dripped on me. Oh, what the hell, dog? Get that shit away from me. Ew, bro. How do you slobber up a toy so bad that it's dripping? Oh, God, disgusting animals. Quad City Bay Area with a $5 super chat. He says, do you think ELRS external non-antenna better than baked? No, get off of me. Ew, God damn it. Do you think ELRS external non-antenna better than baked? However, Walksnail VTX only 300 milliwatt. Do you think ELRS external non-antenna better than baked? Baked? B-A-K-E-D. What iPhone spell check changed baked? Better than Quad City Bay Area says TinyWhoop ... serial ELRS. What's that mean? TinyWhoop serial ELRS. I also can't figure out what the second part is. However, Walksnail VTX only 300 milliwatts. I don't know what that means. Maybe, is that maybe in reference to the tiny little Walksnail Lite VTX? Yeah, I mean, a VTX and camera combo that only weighs 6 grams. Yeah, you're not going to get 700 milliwatts from that. The fact that it gets anything more than 25 milliwatts and deals with HD is just mind-blowing. I've had really good luck with it. It has better range than any of the analog VTXs on TinyWhoops that I've run, so it's a huge win, in my opinion. Quad Seaberry says, baked equals flight controller has ELRS. Okay. So, do you think ELRS external non-antenna is better than the built-in? Here's what I'll say. Anything that has ELRS built in is like a TinyWhoop or a toothpick, and you're not going to be going very far with it anyway. So I really don't think it's going to matter. ELRS works so well that, yeah, even with a built-in Express LRS, as long as there's some sort of an antenna on it, it's gonna have more range than that small of a rig can, like, long range and outrun. So yeah, I don't really think it matters, but an external, what matters is how close the crystals are to being in spec. The problem that ELRS has is that is that they're open source and anybody can make the hardware. So that allows companies to do a shitty job making the hardware. If you Google ELRS Crystal, the very first result here is on the expresslrs.org page, and it explains this. You don't really need to understand it though, but it is pretty cool. If you're not gonna read all this to understand it, you need to look at this chart. This chart is all that matters. And you can see here, there's a column of out of tolerance, warning, and then safe. So you ideally want to run ELRS stuff, and they've got the names of each different ELRS receiver here. You want to run the ones that have the bar over here on the safe side. So Vantac Lite receiver, Happy Model Fusion, Happy Model EP2 version 2, just the Happy Model EP2, Jumper, Ion, and that's about it. Those are the ones that are in the safe. There's a whole bunch of other ones here that are not in the warning zone, which is great. You want to stay away from these ones that are full-blown out of tolerance. These JHE MCUs just straight up don't work. Like, you wire them all up and they just will not bind because they're completely out of tolerance. Crystals are completely out of tolerance. And then these ones that are in the warning zone, BetaFPV Nano, Maytech R24, a couple of other happy models, Jumper, Ion, you probably want to stay away from these as well. But yeah. A transmitter module. Oh, wow. It's a problem with the transmitter modules, too. I did not know that. Jesus. So, yeah. This is what really matters more than anything else with ELRS. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing... It doesn't look like they've tested any of the AIOs that have it built in, which is kind of a shame. But a lot of us have been running the Happy Model boards and the BetaFPV boards that have ELRS built in, and they work completely fine. So, yeah, you're pretty safe. Steve-O says, any chance you've been paying attention to the latest open IPC? Latency is getting pretty comparable to DJI. I don't even know what that is. Open IPC? What the hell is that? Open source operating system targeting IP cameras. By the fact that Sivo said latency is getting pretty comparable to DJI, I'm assuming that this is some sort of an HD, a really lightweight HD camera setup. Which is awesome. Having an open source, I mean, open source anything is great. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I haven't heard of it, so I'm assuming that it's still in like super duper developmental stage. But I will pay more attention to it at this point now that I know what it is and that it exists. Athix says, yeah, Airsoft brother had a 14-year-old JGAK. And a WE Tech 1911 I'm searching. Just need to rework the gearbox and the O-rings. Very cool. Yeah, I've my stuff needs work, and I don't remember how to do it. I mean, I used to be able to break a gearbox down and shim it perfectly and do all these things that like nobody else could do in like record time. And that was like 15 plus years ago. And I know the last time I had my main M4 out, I stripped the piston, which was super annoying. Easy fix, but you still got to break everything down. And I remember there's a very specific order that you need to do it, and an anti-reversal latch that needs to get set properly on the tappet plate, and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I gotta rip those apart one of these days. Probably not. I don't really have a good spot to use them in the backyard here. The backyard here is like on a downhill. If I ever live somewhere with a flat backyard, I'll probably set some targets up and plink with them. Weirdo the Skateboard says, God, what else have I missed? Are you using rockets instead of props now? Almost. Mutterson says, Whoopster, tag CiottiFPV like that so he sees your question. Thank you for that, Metal. Whoopster says, I have a question. What frame is best for a Mobula 6? Whoopster, there is no such thing as best. There's just different. And the point of the live stream tonight is to test two of these frames to try to figure out which of the lightweight frames performs better from a durability and vibration resistance kind of standpoint. I've done a ton of TinyWhoop frame testing on these live streams over the last couple of months. So yeah, hop onto my channel, click my little logo down there or whatever, and then go into the live streams and you'll see a whole bunch of live streams dedicated to testing these frames where I talk all about the pluses and minuses of each frame. That's what you need to know to decide which frame is best for you. There is no best for everyone. There is best for each one of us individually. It's really, really, really important to understand that. Anybody that makes a YouTube video just blatantly saying like this quad or this motor or this prop or this frame is the best, you typically want to stay away from those because there just is no such thing. Sometimes, you know, we'll use the word best as clickbait to try to get everybody to watch. Better yet, you know, watch those reviews and listen to what they're talking about. If they're not like specifically breaking out the pluses and minuses of the object of the thing that they're testing, and they're just saying, oh, it's the greatest, buy it at my affiliate link. Yeah, careful with that. This is also why Facebook groups are pretty worthless for any factual FPV info, because everybody on there is an expert, whether they've flown one battery or 1,000 batteries. And everybody just says that everything they own is the best. And yeah, there is no best. B, most folks have not tested every available option to actually know which one is best. They're just telling you which one they bought, and that's totally worthless information. So be super, super, super careful about that. You got to put the time in. Like there's really no way to just like half-ass this and like figure out all the best gear in 10 minutes. It just doesn't work like that. Like if you want to be good, and if you want to get good, and if you want to run good gear, you got to put the time in. And long form content is really the way to do that, because long form content is the only opportunity that you've got to actually hear someone give you the pluses and minuses, and not just say, hey, this brand new product is the best. My affiliate link is down below. Make sure you click it because I want to make as much money off you as possible. So yeah, that's welcome. You're in the right place, brother. Maybe we'll figure out. I'm going to spend the rest of this live stream talking about which the pluses and minuses of each one of these brand new TinyWhoop 65mm motor frames, which is what the Mobula 6 uses. Veritas Weasel says, it's okay, it's not dog slobber, it's doggy pee. Better not be. Black Moses says, get yourself a wing. You ever tried one? Get yourself a wing. Like an airplane, like an RC airplane. No, I don't really have any interest in them. I don't have any spots that are really big enough to fly them that are close to me. And I'm just not interested. I am interested in FPV as a camera platform, not as a fighter jet. And wings make pretty awful camera platforms just because they get kicked around by the wind so much. So yeah, like the reasons that I love FPV don't line up with wings. I love chasing wings, but I have zero interest in flying one of them. But that's just me. You guys should. Gertjan says, is it good to fly a TinyWhoop next to a sim when learning to fly, or do you just fly TinyWhoops for fun inside the house? You want to do both. The Sim is going to give you a really nice 5-inch training platform, and then TinyWhoops are going to give you a really nice like real world training platform. So yeah, definitely both. They're going to be two completely different skill sets, but that's okay. That's okay. Quad City Bear with a $2 super chat. Thank you, homie. And then a $5 super chat as well. He says, "Is DJI 03 H265? Heard they have 2 or 3 times more engineers than Walksnail." I would assume that I would hope that DJI has 10 times more engineers than Walksnail. If they only have 2 or 3 times as more engineers, then it would actually explain a lot of the holes in DJI's stuff and why they're completely unwilling to listen to us. I have no idea if the DJI 03 is H265. I wonder what happens if I just Google that. Look at that. It also supports H265 video. So yeah, it looks like it is. Well, it looks like it supports it. So yeah. With DJI, you get the advantage of a bigger company that can spend more money on more expensive chipsets and stuff like that. With Walksnail, you get the advantage of a smaller company that's like more agile and can shift and change quicker and listen to actual feedback from the people that are actually using the product. Also, Walksnail is really geared towards FPV, whereas DJI is making a wireless camera platform for the world. So yeah, FPV is a very small part of the world, which is another reason that we get ignored by DJI so much. So yeah, definitely some advantages on either side. The 03 system it does some things really well, and it does some other things really poorly. One of the things that it does really poorly is handle low light as an FPV camera, and that's a problem for me. Like, as an FPV camera, the 03 system gets shit stomped by Walksnail. Walksnail is an FPV camera system. 03 is a split camera system, which is designed to get really good HD footage, but also work as an FPV camera. And as we've seen with every single split FPV HD system, other than the RunCam Hybrid, you make some pretty serious compromises when you try to do it all through one lens on one sensor. And the 03 system has less compromises than any split setup that we've ever seen, but it still has compromises. And Walksnail is a dedicated FPV camera system. And so you just don't get those compromises. You get lower latency, and you just get a much better FPV camera. So if you're looking to build a rig so like for a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch rig, boy oh boy, or even smaller than that, boy oh boy is the 03 system a tempting setup because of how good the HD video coming out of it is. You've got your HD camera fully enclosed, fully protected, but there are some serious drawbacks, right? $260 per, and you can't move it in between quads, so it's going to cost you an absolute fortune. And then all the other stuff that we kind of talked about. So there are very specific audiences for each. The range of the 03 system is also pretty wild, although of the range tests I've seen, Walksnail performs exactly as good as 03. So I don't think range is that... Like, the Avata has ridiculous range, but the 03 air units don't seem to have that same outrageous range as the Avata, which kind of makes sense. Of course, DJI is going to do that, right? They want you to buy the Avata. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. But they're two completely different products for two totally different uses. And in my opinion, Walksnail does a much better job being one set up to kind of rule them all. Just my opinion, though. Whoopster says, I'm looking for one that is durable and can be used for freestyle. You and me both, my man. So all of the info that I've put in previous streams and all the testing we're about to do is right up your alley. Steve-O says, it's been around for a while, but recently a few developers that fly quads are getting openipc for quads. Super cheap. Love that. Weirdo with a Skateboard says, last question. What do you think is the best frame for 2-inch? Is the driblet any good? The driblet is not good at all. There is a very serious design problem with the driblet that causes arms to break, and it's a solid base plate frame, so definitely stay away from it. It was just poorly designed. I don't really know of any good 2-inch frames. 2-inch is a prop size that has a lot of problems. There's with the 03 system, oddly enough, there are a bunch of new 2-inch frames specifically designed to carry the 03 air unit. The reason why we're seeing this is that, like, 2-inch is kind of the smallest, although Newbie Drone has a 1.6-inch build that seems to be pretty good. But yeah, 2-inch is one of the smallest prop sizes that can comfortably carry the heavy-ass 03 air unit. So we've had a little bit more of a resurgence in 2-inch, but they are very specifically designed to only carry the 03 air unit. So for you, yeah, 2-inch is a prop size that sacrifices a ton of thrust and efficiency to 2.5-inch, but is only the tiniest little bit smaller. So 2-inch rigs don't really make a whole lot of sense. 2.5-inch is a much better option. Quad Mula just came out with a Siren, I think it's called, 2.5-inch frame. That would be the one that you would want to go with. Skip 2-inch. It just doesn't make much sense. Whoopster says the Meteor65 Pro frame will fit the Mobula 6 flight controller, the FlySky one. Absolutely any 65mm frame will fit the Mobula 6 flight controller. So you're correct. Steve-O says, if you get a chance, watch a few YouTube videos on it. Looks like it'll be the ELRS for digital FPV video. Hopefully brings all the prices down. That would be rad. Jay says, should I be changing my rates for indoor flying for TinyWhoops? Absolutely not. I remember Bardwell mentioning that you have some special rates / expo for TinyWhoops with higher KV motors for indoor flying. Never, in my opinion, change your rates between any of your rigs. Just because a rig is smaller doesn't mean that, like, for example, one of the things in your rates is maximum rotation. A TinyWhoop will hit that target just like a 10-inch rig, and everything in between. So if you change your rates between rigs, it is going to make the adjustment period in between flying those different rigs even worse. The adjustment period is bad enough because every single rig that you've got has a different amount of wind resistance and a different weight, and that drastically affects how they corner and how they handle when you're off throttle, throwing them over objects and whatnot. So yeah, definitely don't change your rates. If you're going to go stupidly high on the KV on the motors with these TinyWhoops, they become very, very difficult to fly. And one thing that can help the throttle resolution out is adding throttle expo. You need to put your throttle value in your OSD, and you need to cruise around, and you need to look at what your cruising throttle percentage is. It's usually going to be between 20 and 30%. Let's say it's 28%. You're going to set 28 as your throttle expo midpoint, and then the amount of throttle expo that you run is completely a personal decision. Start it at 0.2, and then try it at 0.4, and then try it at 0.6, and see which one you like the best. And then if you like 0.4 the best, try 0.3, and then try 0.5. And that's how you kind of dial in your throttle expo. Off-Axis FPV with a 5 Canadian Californian dollars super chat. He says, I just bought a new X12 for my Mobula HD setup. Going to make it 75mm 2S. I'll have a Mobula 6 HD and now a Mobula 7 HD as well. Almost every whoop size except 2-inch. Very cool. 75 mil on 2S is going to be nuts with Mobula HD on board. That's going to have crazy power to weight ratio. Let us know how that is. Weirdo with a skateboard says, cheers, lad, have a good one. Until next time, hopefully it won't be as long as time. Sounds good, brother. Jay says, thanks for a detailed answer. You're certainly welcome. Quad City Bay Area with a $5 super chat. He says, Maiden Fly Mobula 8 frame broke. Of course it did. Put Mobula 8 guts in the Meteor 85. All good. LOL. The Meteor 85 frame will probably not last much longer. But yeah, let us know. Let us know how long that Meteor 85 frame lasts. Man, I hear about a lot of the Mobula 8 frames breaking. But previously, I've heard a lot about a lot of just all of the 85 millimeter frames seem to be very fragile. Steve-O says, I have an 03 setup. The image is nice, but I just picked up the Sky 04X and find myself flying analog more often because of the latency feel. Yeah, the other big problem with the 03 setup is it has the most latency out of any video system that we've had. And yeah, I mean, the latency is getting to a point now where it doesn't surprise me, but it's still insane that someone has the most sophisticated, most expensive, God level, according to most of the people that fly 03. Maybe they just spent a shitload of money on it and that's clouding their judgment. Maybe not, but maybe, definitely, that's gone back to the oldest, shitty, arguably shittiest video transmission system, which is analog, and it prefers analog. I mean, that's just wild. But again, not surprising. Allfaxes says, what motors would you suggest? It depends on what the all-up weight is, but probably a 1002 in somewhere between 10 and 14,000 kV. I would just do 14,000 kV and then motor limit it down. That's what I did on the Tiny Lifter, and yeah, it's really good. So that's what I would do if I were you. And I'm caught up on chat. That means we can start bouncing these things off the wall. Maybe tonight's the night that Teddy eats a TinyWhoop. Let's find out. Powering up the transmitter. Powering up the Googles. I've got 6 batteries. I've got 6 discs loaded up. Everybody know what movie that's from? I'm not going to give you the other part of the quote. I got 6 discs. If nobody can give it, I'll give you a huge hint, and you might be able to get it. I got 6 discs loaded up at all times. I think he says at all times. Hold on. I want to get the quote right. Movie quote. I got 6 discs. Yeah, there it is. I've got 6 discs. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. What the hell was that? Where's the description of it? Yarn memes. Yeah! Hockey Round's got it. I've always got Little River Band loaded up here. I got 6 discs in here. Oh, boy. It's a funny movie, by the way. Other Guys. Check it out. All right, friends. Let's... So, we're going to dive straight into the ultimate freestyle TinyWhoop with the Cockroach V3 frame. The first thing that I want to check out is, does it oscillate to the moon? It probably won't. If it doesn't, can I move the PID gains up? Which will basically tell us, is the Cockroach 65 V3 frame better than the Meteor 65 Air frame at dealing with vibrations coming from the motors and the props? Look at it, Teddy. Get out of here, buddy. Don't eat it, please. So, let's see what happens. No, no, no. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up, buddy. Hey, don't be bad, boy. Don't be bad. Back up. Back. Back up. No! Hey! Stop it. I don't love this game, Teddy. Hey! I don't know if that was you that knocked it over. Get out of here. Get out of here, dog. Get out of here. Oh, God. Oh, God. One of the motors is not working. Both of the... What? Both of the right side motors aren't working. What the hell? What's happening? Did I not get the plugs in there all the way? Oh, no. Why do the motors feel like they're all bound up? What the hell happened here? Oh, man. Are you fucking kidding me? What? This is me spinning up the right side motors in turtle mode. What the fuck? What could have possibly happened? Is the C-clip catching on the inside of the thing, maybe? It doesn't look like it. What the hell? Come on, man. God damn it. What the hell? Alright, well, with those right oh yeah, I mean this thing ain't gonna fly right. Fuck. Yeah, I mean that was full throttle almost. Jesus. Well, it's not oscillating to the moon, even with some serious weirdness. Oh boy, he jumped at it. He's trying to eat it tonight. Yeah, no, it's flying like absolute ass. Yeah, look at the throttle percentage just to hover. 35%, 37%, 36%. Something ain't right. Oh, I hate FPV sometimes. All right, well. Jesus Christ on a crutch. Denzilla Turbo says solder balls from last night's wire replacement. No, I haven't done anything to these motors in a while. These motors were completely fine a minute ago. I've not had to switch the... I've not had to switch anything over or really do anything to these. I mean, I don't even... I don't even know where to begin. Like... Like I just unscrewed them from one and put them into the other frame. Like there's just no reason for this. This just doesn't make any sense in any way. I'm taking wires, taking hairs out of them right now. I don't really know. I don't get it. I guess maybe the C-clip is rubbing on the inside of the motor hole, but usually when that's the case, like you'll see the C-clip stop spinning, and that's not happening here. So hold on. It could be hair related. That when I was taking them off, the hairs might have moved around in a weird way or something. I guess. Certainly doesn't look like it. But I mean, now that I pulled that hair out of there, it does feel like this motor is spinning more freely. I mean, the C-clip is getting close to the inside of the thing, but that's always the case. And, like, there's two motors that are completely fine. This one's got some hair going on, too. Could this just be hair-related? That seems completely insane, but these 32,000 kV TinyWhoop motors have been flown an awful lot. So if there was going to be a motor that had this problem, I guess maybe it would be this one. Trying to just get these hairs out of here. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. I can't get it. It's the hair. Jesus Christ. Let me do this. Let me like kind of just mash the motor bell around a little bit. See if maybe that'll magically help it. All right, let's see. Let's see if that did anything at all. I doubt it, but you never know. Now it won't work. Oh, there it goes. Fine now. Welcome to FPV, my friends. A land where nothing ever makes any sense. Nah, it still ain't right. It's got no power. Oh, the battery's dead. The battery's dead! That would explain it. Alright, so, well, hold on, let's do this. Since I have to pull the battery off anyway, let's put it into beta flight and spin each individual motor up and look at the RPM to make sure that it's not still fucked up. Because to really compare these two, it needs to not be screwed up like that. 3.8, that battery's fine. All right, but what is good is that it's not just flying away all on its own. So it's dealing with vibrations as good, if not better, than the Meteor65 airframe. 64,000 I saw. 64,000 I saw. 65,000. 65,000. Awesome. 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 God only knows what was going on with those two motors, but it's fine now, and I just don't care. Let's fire it up, my friends. Here we go. The testing can actually begin now. First thing I'm going to do is pull up the OSD and add some PID gain back in. So far with the Meteor65 airframes, I've not been really impressed by the tunes that I've had to run on them because I have to back the PIDs down a little bit. So let's come in here. We'll go to Profile. We'll go to Simplified Tuning. And we are going to push the D gains up to 2.0. Push the P and I gains up to 1.6. Feed forwards nice and low. D max 1.2. That's good. And the pitch gains are up at 1.2. That's good. Cool. Let's see how it does. Come on. Oh no, we are at the limit. All right, so here's how you can hear if it's at the limit. Listen to it after I chop the throttle. It should be silent. You hear it? Like when I'm off the throttle, it's like it's just overactive. So both of these frames are pretty much identical in terms of handling vibrations, which is not surprising. So cool. That's good to know. That actually makes the situation a lot easier. Ooh. So now we're flying with I've been flying those newbie drone rigs without what happened here? Without crash prevention. Oh Christ, here we go with the dog. Oh God. Let's take him upstairs. Here he comes. Oh shit! Man, I'm playing a dangerous game. Game that I should not be playing. Azalea, beat that dog for me. Beat him. Where is he? There he is. You trying to eat it? You trying to eat? Maybe he'll want to play with Azalea. Oh God, no! Please no! Oh God! Teddy, easy! Don't eat it! Don't eat it! Hey! No! Oh, he flipped it over for me. That was nice of him. I know. He's obsessed. He's absolutely obsessed. Get him, Azalea. Get him. Get him. Get him. I'll watch. Get him. Ah!
Oh my God!
Oh, he's crazy. Crazy dog is crazy.
Oh. Come here.
Get him.
Oh, God.
I looked down at him. This is a whole new game. This is a whole new game. Where is he? There he is.
Come here. Come here.
Ooh.
Listen. Where did you go?
Get him.
Come here.
Get him.
Stop it. No.
Where is he? There he is. He tried to eat me.
I need to get him. I gotta get him. No.
Get him.
Oh God.
Get him. Don't let him go. He's gonna eat the TinyWhoop. Oh no, here he comes. We didn't see it. He doesn't know it's here. He doesn't know it's here. Look how dumb he is. He doesn't get it. Oh, here he comes. Will he see it? He won't see it. He's not seeing it. Look at him. He's looking around for it. Oh my God. Uh-oh, he's over by me.
Come here.
Ah, there it is, where it is! He only likes chasing it when it's flying. Okay.
Come here.
It's just too fun to to mess with the dog.
Dog.
Oh my God, doggo.
Stop it.
Yeah, you need to go upstairs, buddy. Come on.
Go upstairs. Come
Holy
on.
crap. All right, I won't take off again, so you can get him.
Come on.
Get him.
Come on.
Man, he doesn't care about his toys or anything. He just cares about eating TinyWhoops. There he goes. Now he wants to go upstairs. Yes. All right, cool. Azalea says, I hit him in the face. Thank you. Okay. For real this time. Here we go. Stop beeping, fat sharks, you bastards. All right. Here we go. Oh, God. See that little bit of jutteriness? That's what you can get rid of with the old school Meteor65 frame. Oh! And the Weebleed crown frame. The crown frame was really good with dealing with motor and prop vibrations. Oh boy, this setup is not down on power. That's for sure. Oh, we got it in there. Did you see it? Did you see it, friends? It was a big one. Oh my God. This flies great. It flies just like it flies just like it did with the Meteor65 Air frame. Like, it's very light. It's got mega power to weight ratio. Oh shit! Don't hit the bar cart, the man says. What's he do? Oh God! Rejected hard. Oh yeah. Oh God. So Cockroach 65 V3. Okay. What can I say? At this point, it weighs the same. 0.1 gram is not enough to really freak out about. Oh my God, please. Sorry, buddy. So yeah, they weigh the same. They seem to handle vibrations the same. And the magic, the question that remains is durability. And without being able to fly upstairs because the dog is going to eat the TinyWhoop, it's going to be hard. So I'm just going to keep like flying as hard as I can down here. That's a good hit. I can still put a bunch of crashes. I can still hurt frames down here. Just because the carpet is carpet, everything else in the room is hard materials. So this is still we're still good for durability testing. We just need to put the time in. We need to put the time in. The fucking fuck crashes in. Where'd you go, little guy? Where'd you go? Where are you? Oh God, the Mavic fell. Well, didn't fall. Almost fell. Yeah, keep beeping. Keep beeping. Watch what I do to you, you mother. Beep one more time. Come on, one more beep. Yes! Another one, please. Another beep. Beep again, fat sharks. Yes! Yes! Oh, I love when they beep. Oh, come on. Yes. Beep, beep rapidly. Beep over and over again. Come on. Come on, fat shark. Give it to me. Do it. Come on. Do it. Beep. Yes. That's what I like the most. When you beep non-stop. That's the best. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, calm. Ah, so close. Man, I can't tell you how absolutely happy I am that these fat sharks keep beeping like this. The battery is not dead, but they just keep beeping. It's great. It's a really nice setup. This way, you're as angry as possible when you're flying. It's really just a great thing that Fat Shark did when they put in a useless quality voltage sensor. All right, here we go. And now they stop. Okay. You're just going to beep forever. So let's pull the battery out and swap it. Okay, so Cockroach 65 V3, yo. Nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that. Let's swap over to the Meteor65 airframe on slightly higher KV motors. These are the Weebleed FPV Screamers 0702 32,500 kV. That is the deal. Let's see if I can tell any difference. What? Hey. Okay. This Meteor65 airframe has been flown a lot less than the clear one. So it doesn't have those creases. It actually feels like it has a little bit less power, which is kind of wild. Still got tons of power, though. Ah! What was that? That was weird. Ah! Okay. Yeah, see, like these little, like I'm used to doing these little throttle blips for everything. And when I do the little throttle blips with this rig, I'm coming up short. Which, oh fuck! Could just me be flying like an idiot, but when it starts happening over and over again, it's kind of like, well... Oh my god, oh my god! Come on now! Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god, this rig don't fly as good. Oh god, that cube being all jacked up. You know what it is? This rig has higher up tilt. I just realized what's going on. There is a bunch more up tilt on this. Let me show you. Let me guess. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, the rig that I was just flying has just a fucking ton of up tilt. Which would explain why it felt so different. So let me fix that real quick here. I always want to have a little bit of frame in the bottom here. See that? A little bit of duct, I should say, in the bottom. That means that, basically, that means that I'm at the up tilt that I'm most comfortable with. So yeah. I've never really understood why there's always more duct on the one side than the other. That has never made much sense to me. Other than maybe like the camera sitting in here sideways, but that doesn't make any sense for the camera to be in here sideways. That's really a silly thing. Did that make it any better? No. Really strange. Why are you like this? Oh. Oh, shit. Okay, well, that camera's ruined. That was the lens breaking off of this camera. And when that happens, you're done. Like, the camera is just ruined. You just can't get the lens back on there at the perfect amount of flatness for it to be in focus ever again. God fucking damn it. Okay. Back to the Meteor65 Air frame. Okay. I don't think I have another Runcam Nano 3 either, so I'm not going to be able to just quickly fix that. I'm going to have to fucking order one and wait for it. See if I can tell any differences with this. Oh boy, this has been a frustrating day. This is a day that kind of down with it ending. So see, down here, without changing the up tilt, I've got a little bit of the ducts in view. And this is much more what I'm used to in terms of up tilt. And if you didn't know, your up tilt has a lot to do with how you're flying. Slight changes in up tilt will completely throw you off. Wow, yeah, this rig has more power. Why this rig has more power, I have no idea. It could be it's got a gyro on it that's got less noise. So it's able to deliver. Oh, God. Oh. Shit. Apparently just sitting it at full throttle while it's crashing doesn't really help with anything. Yeah, this rig feels way better. Oh, my God. Please! What? How is that possible? Where could it be? Okay. I tried. I mean, you can't say I didn't try. I don't even know where it is. Oh, it's in between the... it fell in between the cushions there. That would explain it. All right. Well, we're just gonna keep putting abuse into the Cockroach V3 frame, and we'll see if it holds up. And then I'll get, oh, you son of a bitch, I'll get another camera for that other frame, and then we'll, I can start beating that frame up too. Some. This is great, man. I'm on fire tonight. Oh, fuck you. Oh, God damn it. That's the sound of screws going fucking everywhere. Where did it even go? Oh my God, where did those screws just go? Oh, Christ. Everything just went everywhere. There's just shit everywhere. I could not have crashed in a worse spot. Wow, there's just stuff everywhere. Jesus. It was like a hand grenade going off on the desk. Jesus Christ. Some streams are good. Some streams are like this. Okay, good. Ooh, that was a little desync. Fuck you. Yeah, good. Don't fly angry. Oh, you prick. Oh, yeah. Good, good. Ah! There is a little bit of a rattly noise going on right now. Good. Oh. Sweet. 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 Alright, let's see if we can figure out what the rattling noise is. Now that I've destroyed this battery from being a stubborn asshole. Can't get the BT 2.0 unplugged. That's great. This battery is just fucked for life now. Come on, god damn it. There we go. Put this battery right on the charger. Thank God there's only one battery left. Alright. See if I can figure out what the rattling is real quick here. To do that, I'm going to spin each motor up individually. And, yeah, see if we can kind of like pinpoint it. Motors seem to be spinning fine. Let's put it into the throttle mode and check each one. Or not. Oh, there we go. Seems to be all of them. Seems to all be a little rattly. These motors are old. I have beat the living hell out of these motors. They seem to be solidly mounted. I don't really see anything that could be causing it. Let's make sure that a couple of these. Let's make sure these screws are tight. The front frame screw has stripped out in the frame itself. That sucks. The side and rear frame screws are fine, but the front frame screw has stripped out. That stinks. Shouldn't be the end of the world, though. All right. Let's put this last battery up in the air. Hockey Rounds with a $5 super chat. He says, pint of ice cream. Man, I would be shitting for a week if I ate a pint of ice cream. Great. All right, let me give this a second to cool down. The image looks like hell because the VTX is overheated. Because I was sitting there dicking with it while it was plugged in. Okay, eat me. Yep, there it is. Oh, no! Oh, God. Oh, it landed in a box. Quad City Bear with a $2 super chat. He says, Newbie Drone caters to ANI whoopee more? I don't know what... Oh, my God. I don't know what ANI means. Oh my God, please don't judge me by my flying tonight. This is pretty awful. I am flying really hard to try to put a bunch of crashes into it, but I mean, this is like next level shitty flying tonight. It is a hard spot to fly. Like there are about 7,000 things down here to hit. Alright, woosah, motherfuckers. Woosah. Almost. Almost. Oh, so close. Come on. Nah, that was bullshit. Here we go. Oh, just barely missed the gate. Didn't bring the elevation down quite enough. Yeah, these little felt. I got these little felt reindeer from Target to go with the little felt tree things. Look at that. Oh, you bastard. You couldn't even just like hook me up and let me land on there? Oh, you fucking asshole. Come on. So there you have it. No real... No real, like, clear winner, per se. To be honest, both of these frames are super similar. I don't really know if one is for somebody and the other is for somebody else. They're just very similar. You have to pull the PIDs down a similar amount with these two. Quincy Bear with another $2 super chat. He says analog whoops. Okay. Newbie Drone caters to analog whoops more. I guess you could say that. I mean, everybody makes... Actually, no, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Everybody just makes their own... Everybody makes everything. I guess Newbie Drone doesn't make a Walksnail whoop. But... Yeah. Everybody makes analog whoops, and everybody makes digital whoops. Newbie Drone has an 03 setup. I guess maybe I see what you're getting at. Yeah, maybe they do cater to analog whoops more, because the only HD whoop that they've got is the one that has 03 on board, and some of the other manufacturers will have like an HD0 whoop, they'll have a Walksnail whoop, they'll have analog whoops, and they'll in some cases have an 03 air unit whoop. So yeah, I guess you are right. Newbie Drone does cater to analog whoops more. Whoopster says, what props would you recommend for a Mobula 6? Depends completely upon you, Whoopster. Different people like different props. Luckily, TinyWhoop props are infinitely cheap. So just get a bunch of different ones. The Gem Fan props are almost unquestionably the best, mainly because they open the top of the mounting hole up so that you can actually push the propeller all the way down in the motor shaft. HQ unbelievably does not do that. Technically speaking, you can get a 0.98 millimeter drill bit and screw them and drill them out. But don't do that. Just run the Gem Fan props. They're just as good, if not better, in other ways too, in balance and thrust, and so yeah, just get the Gem Fan props. So get the Gem Fan bi-blades, get the Gem Fan 1208 tri-blades, and get the Gem Fan 1209 quad blades, and then try them and see which ones you like the best. Personally, I like the bi-blades with extremely high kV 0702s. If you're not running a super high kV 0702, you might like the tri-blades better. If you're running a lower kV, bigger can motor like an 802, you might actually like the quad blades. But to get a set of all three of those, it's going to be like $12 whole. And then you can pick which ones you like the best, and that's a really good idea. Off access drop in the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Hockey Round says CiottiFPV has a $5 for one-on-one sessions. I do indeed. Talking to KKFPV. KKFPV says, yo, does Ciotti ever look at Facebook? I do, every day. Unfortunately. It makes me want to scream. Usually only like once a day, though. I'll check Facebook. Sometimes I don't, though. Steve-O says, what's the Facebook rant, LOL? Hockey rounds. No, we got that. Thank you, dude. And what else is going on here? Off Axis says turtle mode is Teddy mode. Steve-O says spun shaft. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea why it was doing that. That was really, really, really weird. This one prop is very strangely bent up. So one of the other differences, there are more differences between these two frames. One of the other differences between these two frames is how high in the duct the propeller sits. And that's actually something that is pretty important, and it's something that I really like about the Cockroach 65 frame. So if you look at where the propeller rides around this duct, you can see, I'm trying to get the camera down as flat as possible. You can see that on the Cockroach V3 frame, the tip of the propeller is like just barely above the bottom of the duct. Look at the Meteor65 Air frame. This is like the most disappointing part about the Meteor65 Air frame. Like, this is a lightweight frame. They could have made this frame even lighter weight by moving these ducts down, but they didn't. And look at the tip of the let me show you here. Look at the tip of this propeller. See how it's sitting down below that duct? That sucks, man. That's such a missed opportunity. Because of that, what happens during crashes is that the duct pushes in, and like immediately the tip of the propeller catches on this support. And on these frames, there's 6 of these supports. So when you crash even a little bit, this pushes in, the propeller catches on a vertical piece, right? It doesn't rub on the actual duct. It just catches this vertical piece, and that just stops that motor. And that makes the entire rig just spin out of control. This setup here, where there's at least a little bit of propeller of duct below the propeller tip, when this thing comes around, it has the opportunity to just scrape on the duct and keep going and not completely stall the motor out. Our brushless motors are not censored, and because they're not censored motors, they don't have a lot of power at 0 RPM. And that's why when you completely block a propeller like that, it just stalls that motor completely out, and it just drops, and it just death rolls to the ground. So yeah, the Cockroach V3 is way better in terms of if you're running a smaller 0702 motor. Although even like an 802 motor, they seem to put the prop at the same height. I don't understand at all what BetaFPV set this duct height at. It's almost like they set the duct height for like a 3mm tall motor, which nobody runs on. Well, that's not true. There is a 603. I do have an 0603 TinyWhoop motor that's a prototype at 30,000 kV. But like, I don't know anyone that runs 0603s. Everybody runs 702s and 802s. So it's very weird. It really almost is as if BetaFPV designed this frame and the other Meteor frame. It's a problem on that frame for an 0603 motor, which is like an infinitely not popular motor choice on TinyWhoops. Very, very weird. Very, very, very weird guard height or duct height that BetaFPV chose for the Meteor frames. I was sure that for the Meteor65 Air frame, they would have put the duct down lower to save weight, and because this is feedback that's been given to them about the Meteor frame by many people over the years that the Meteor65 frame has been out. So very, very, very confusing that they didn't change that. I love that BetaFPV got it right, though. Like, that's a huge plus for the Cockroach V3 frame. So yeah, time will tell which one of these frames is more durable. They both seem to handle vibrations pretty much identically, coming from the motors and the props. They are 0.1 of a gram different between the two of them, which is little enough that it really kind of doesn't matter. Kind of does, but sort of not really. Here, the Meteor65 airframe being 0.1 gram lighter, I would rather have the Cockroach frame, which has the duct in a much more logical spot. So I will take 0.1 gram extra weight for the duct to be where it should be, rather than too high. It's about it, man. There's really there's nothing else in it to me. The Cockroach frame does have these little hooks in the back, which you can put a little T antenna in. Kind of cool. I think that's about it, man. I like, the frames are very similar. You kind of can't go wrong with either one. But I have a funny feeling that I'm gonna break this Meteor65 airframe before the Cockroach 65 frame, just because of the durability testing that I saw Newbie Drone doing on the Cockroach V3 frame. But that is total speculation. Taking a built rig and hand throwing it at the wall, I don't think that tells the whole story of durability. I think you really do just have to fly them a lot. You have to fly a lot of batteries through a frame to really get a proper feel for the durability. I could be wrong, but yeah. So no clear winner, just slight differences between these two. Very slight differences, though. Quad City Bay Area with one last $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, what's your favorite 5-inch rig? Have you tried 03 Whoops? Favorite 5-inch rigs are all up there. Loads and loads of content on the channel surrounding my 5-inch builds. It is the FPV Cycle Glide frame with unfortunately discontinued T-Motor F40 Pro 4 motors, and then all Acon electronics. Have you tried 03 Whoops? I have not. I have not tried 03 at all. Newbie Drone is hooking me up with something though, so pretty soon I'll have tried them. Hockey Round says KKFPV has a question above. Do you do video call lessons for FPV? I lost my memory in a car crash and I can't fly or remember what all my drones do now. I do. So on my Fiverr, which is linked over on CiottiFPV.com, on my Fiverr page, I offer simulator training, flight training, build planning, helping you pick out the correct components that will A, not catch on fire, but B, do what you want them to do rather than what some stranger on the internet wants to do with them. And then I also have tuning that I can work with you on. I'm not usually the best guy for like FPV 101 stuff. Technically, yes, I can help you get up in the air, but I'm just not that good at it. Like I'm gonna have to search for a lot of like Joshua Bardwell videos for like the really basic stuff, because I just haven't done the basic stuff in like 7+ years. But I know where to search for the answers, and for some people that has value. I'm kind of like FPV 102. Like once you're up in the air, once you're starting to get confident flying, I can then help you fly even better. And I can help you kind of grow your flying into cinematic flying or just hardcore freestyle, or and if you go the cinematic route, I've been doing that for almost 3 years now, so I can kind of help guide you there. So yeah, just fair warning. These are the things that I'm the best at. Technically speaking, though, yes, I can help you get back up in the air. It's just going to take a little bit longer because, like I said, I'm going to have to search for Bardwell videos. I'm going to have to search the internet for, like, binding procedures. But I do know where to search for that stuff. So that might have some value for you. Northern Tier with the last question of the live stream, he says, that was a great observation with the duct thing. Yeah, it's something that's really bothered me for a long time. The original Cockroach frame, it crashed really well. You could bump off of the walls and it wouldn't just tumble out of the air. When we went to the Meteor65 frame, we got a lot of extra durability and we saved a bunch of weight. But all of a sudden, when you would bounce, when you would just like graze something, it would stall the motor out and it would just fall out of the air. So like you couldn't bump into stuff. You had to be completely clean all the time. Like you had to get it through the gate and then make sure that you don't hit absolutely anything. And like, man, I was really hoping that BetaFPV was going to fix that on the airframe. And when they didn't, I just kind of threw my hands up in the air. Like, what the fuck? Like, I know for absolute certain that myself and a whole bunch of other people have mentioned this to BetaFPV about their Meteor65 frames. I just don't understand how they completely missed the boat on that. And it could very well be the reason that I don't recommend that frame to anyone. We'll see. We'll see how it does durability wise. If it's durable, but it just has that one problem, it's gonna sort of be like, well, yeah, if you want the second best frame, Meteor65 Air. But I need to put a whole bunch more crashes through the Cockroach V3 frame to really say like, hey, this is the one that I like the best. Whoopster says, should I be pushing the gem fan props as far as I can go to where they are touching the motor? Absolutely. Really important to try to have your motor shafts not bend is to push the propeller all the way down as far as it'll go. Thanks for hanging, my friends. It's now 9:05 p.m. I am 5 minutes into Bot Grinder's time slot. I apologize for that. Go get you some bot. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm starving. I'm going to get something to eat. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can support me or contact me or just laugh your asses off. Head on over there. Click all the buttons. You're going to love it. Patreon helps me out the most, and you get the most benefits. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me. Take advantage of almost 8 years of FPV experience. Etsy and Teespring have some fun merch that you can get. Today's shirt is from Blipshift. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of affiliate links over there. If you're ordering something on the internet, someone that's creating content has an affiliate link to that website. See if you can grab it and click it before you check out. And we'll keep making cool stuff for you to watch here on YouTube. Thank you, friends. Here's a little bit of flying from NCL Miami Beach. NCL is National Cycling League. This is some B-roll that I got them earlier this year. Be good, friends. I had a very specific area that I was allowed to fly in and not allowed to fly in from the FAA. So that's why the footage might look a little bit weird. See you guys Sunday. Later!